Welcome to Locker Knockers with the crone. Udums is not here again. It's okay. He doesn't do this part anyway. I realized I was going through my videos and I realized that I'm not actually doing tutorials. So today is going to be the first of tutorials. I'm going to make something really easy for Halloween. This is my season, by the way. I realized that when I was making this little mountain monstrosity, I don't know how well you can see it in my tree. Yeah, that's going to be the face. That, I did not do tutorials on it. So I'm going to do a mini one today, doing a tutorial. Okay, let's see how this goes. What you need: glue gun, plenty of glue, remnants of heavy-duty aluminum foil without, it cannot be, I mean absolutely cannot be, the non-stick. If you use a non-stick, then your contractor grade masking tape will not work at all. So you need good old-fashioned heavy-duty. If you use a thinner stuff, then you have to use like twice the amount, or sometimes 3 times the amount. So heavy duty is the best. Alright, let's get going. Now you gotta make your base. Your base can be, if it's gonna be a tree, the base is very simple. Here, let me, oh, this is gonna sound horrible. I'm gonna have to edit that out. I do use remnant when I'm doing smaller things. I do use remnant of, leftover pieces, as long as they're not really tiny. But base of the tree is basically, I ball it up and I get a relative shape that I want. Let me get the big piece out of the way. I won't be using that till later. I flatten the bottom, and then I give it a little bit of a lip, so the rest of the stuff, and you want a flat bottom so that it sits without no wobbles. You don't want wobbles. Okay? And another little piece in my leftover pieces. Okay, to do the walls, always have the shiny side on the inside. So you want the dull side, which will better stick, to try to make walls really easy. This is probably going to be too big, so I'll be carrying it apart. Yep, it's going to be too big. Oh, that's real easy. You can use scissors, but I don't like to use scissors on aluminum foil. It dulls them so fast, so I don't do that. Okay, put that aside. Yeah, that would be perfect size for the wall. And I pretty much just, and then you start making your little wall. Or actually, it's not a wall. Oh my God, I keep thinking about going back to doing the houses where, yeah, it would be a wall, but not in this case. And normally I have these all set up, but I didn't today. I was in a hurry. I wanted to get this going. And contractor's tape is wider, which is perfect because you can cut this down to the size you want. And that should do us for a bit. Okay. You just kind of tape it to where you want it. I don't use too much tape at this point, just to hold it together. And it doesn't have to look perfect because it's going to be covered up anyway. Alright, and you just keep going until you get. Now usually, you'll see on this side, I leave this little opening. Normally, on a bigger one, it's really big. This would probably only get a flashlight. Tea light, you could probably turn. I don't have a tea light. Okay, I'll use my little blinky thing. If this was a tea light, you just set it in the opening, and it would do the same thing as a bigger one, which you set the tea light inside on the bottom. I always have a little opening most of the time. There are sometimes I don't want them to glow. So that I just do a full solid, you know. Now also I went on the outside. I'm going to build it up just a little bit. And tear off what I don't need. Once again, and I fold over. I don't know how well you can see this. We'll find out. I just fold it over as much as I can. Hold it shape. You still have that little opening. And just tape it in place. I like to keep the bottom smoother, because that's kind of important not for it to tip over. And I can actually rip these in half again. Just to hold them in place. Alright, I'm going to pause, get it to where I want it. You just keep building up that building up the sides of your tree, little tree, until you get it to the point you want. On this one, I'm just going to put over the top. If I can get it. There we go. Now, sometimes forget that I can't just go ahead and do it. Oh, that didn't stick. There we go. Get it where I want it. Just a small opening right there. And that will be for a little light. There. This is a little opening for the light. You can also use fairy lights to do that. That works too. Works very well. Alright, I'm going to pause. I'm going to build it up to where as tall as I want it. And I will be right back. Okay, here we go again. I got it to this point where I got it as tall as I wanted it, and it's narrowing at the top for a reason. The next part is real fun, and yes, you do see an X in here. This is to let me know that this is the middle of the screen of the camera, because I can't see what's going on right now. I don't have it hooked up to the computer, so I can't see actually what I'm doing, so it's all kind of going in blindly. Okay, so you get it to this point where you want it, as tall as you want it. You get to start adding limbs, which is real fun. Now once again, you take your aluminum foil. I still have remnants left. And it's a noisy part. You might want to turn down your sound. But you take limbs. For this one, probably something like that. You just tear off what you need. And no, they're not going to be perfect. Set that aside. I can move the limbs of this tree out of the way, hopefully. I don't have much room. I'm doing it out in the living room again because we had a little mishap. I'll move you away. Had a little mishap. Our Mercari store. So we have to revamp everything. It's not. So that's closed right now. Alright, to do the limbs, really easy. You can either start an angle or do it this way. Either one works. Make sure the non-shiny side is going to be the outward side. Okay, now that's a little bit too big for a limb. I'm going to cut it probably in half. That's about right. And then you decide what the base is going to be. You twist, flatten, and then keep twisting until you have your little tree limb. This flat part is going to be bent and then hot glued to the side wherever you want it. Bigger ones will be out here. These will be smaller ones. So I just go ahead and make a whole bunch of these, and then I start to work on the inside, which will require bigger pieces of foil. That normally doesn't come out as even as I like, but that's okay. I'm going to set the smaller ones aside, put him on the side, and show you how to make the bigger limbs. They're going to have to be thicker. And I did it wrong. Sometimes you don't catch yourself. That time I did. And you guys are being so good today with no noises, which is awesome. You decide how thick you want. You can use, as you roll, you pinch and squeeze to get a good solid inside, because you don't want a flimsy inside. Flimsy inside, chances are your limb is going to sag. And we all know saggy's not good. We'll just roll it and remove all animal hair. That's a pretty good one. It's really nice and stout on the inside. Okay, I got it to where I wanted it. I'm going to do flatten one end, give it a twist, and we'll end up looking like that. And then you hold on to that end, if you can. Sometimes I can't. My fingers don't work the way I want them to these days, but that's okay. This might be a little too big for this tree. Let's see. Nope, actually, that's pretty good. So then you super glue it. Oh, Lord. You hot glue it to this opening on the inside, and as you go around, this little opening will get smaller and smaller. So watch your fingers. I can't tell you the number of times I have burned myself on hot glue. Somebody say, oh, yeah, like right there. Somebody said, oh, you should get gloves. No, I can't work with gloves. I'm sorry. That just doesn't work for me. So it's going to make it a little top heavy. That's okay, because, ow, I did it again. Because when you put the other ones in, it will compensate for weight. So I'm going to pause again. I'm going to get a whole bunch of them on top, and then we'll go from there. And once again, here we are. All your limbs that you want. So far, you will be putting more in here later on. But for the most part, you just want to get, I know it kind of looks like a hydra. That's okay. That's okay. And it's still a little top heavy on one side, so it won't stand upright, but it will. It will. Hush! Hey! Busy here. We be quiet. I'm going to have to edit that. Okay. But this is pretty much how your tree is going to start looking, and I will be back in just a little bit. Oh, thank you for dropping that. Thank you, Merlin. I'll be back in just a little bit, and I will show you how to put limbs on the main part of the tree.